Hey peeps, it's Nikki and welcome back to another video. So today we are in an exposed interview with the most, well, I guess not the most recent, but one of the most recently evicted people from Friends Fight. Please welcome SaraLe'anne. But first, before we get into that, the form in the description below is where you can vote for fan favorites of Friends Fight mini season. That person will be announced and get a special award on finale night. So far nobody has voted. If only one or two of you vote, that'll still be fine. You have more power. But get in there, get in those votes so that we can do it. So, because if we don't, then there's going to be no fan favorite. So yeah, but let's get on with it. Hello, SaraLe'anne. Hi. Well, you were technically the second most recent evicted player from the mini season because you got 6th place because you were the first nominated and the first to leave. So you got 6th, Rosalinda got 5th, but since Rosalinda hasn't really done much to get her an exposed interview, we went with you. Well, thank you so much for making that choice. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming on. Oh, well, that's nice. Well, let's get into your game. So, you come on to the show, and, well, first off, how are you feeling right now, like, recently evicted? Well, I was very sad towards my end of my run. I really did not want to be there. I was defeated. And honestly, I wanted to go. So I am kind of glad that I left. But I feel that I could have had more to show with the cast. Okay, we'll get back to that later. But first, when you were getting into the game, how is this your first time auditioning? It actually is not my first time auditioning. So here's the thing. So I have auditioned twice. Well, technically once. Because here's the thing. I don't know if this is like widely known by the public or anything. But mini season is basically the rejects from season 4. So I auditioned once on season 4. And I was about to get on. I was like the final 50 or whatever. And then they cut me. And then I got put on mini season because they called me. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. I'll go on. So no one auditioned for mini season. It was just the rejects of season 4 and season 3. Maybe season 2, maybe season 1. I don't know. But so we were all technically kind of recruited. Because we had auditioned for season 4 or season before that, and they just called us now. So I auditioned for season 4, and I didn't get on, but then I got on here. So, and honestly, I am glad because season 4 did not finish, and I am glad to be on a season where they did finish. So, yeah. Well, that is certainly great. So, what is your game plan coming in? Well, I don't know. I didn't want to take the game way too seriously, but we'll get back into that later. So I didn't want to take the game too seriously. I wanted to win for my preschoolers because those are my kids at home. Those are what I live for. Those are my pride and joy, my cheer. I love every single one of them. I also wanted to win for my daughter so that I might be able to get her back. Um, but that didn't happen. And I didn't want to get too carried away into the game. Obviously, that didn't really work out. Uh, but yeah, I was in there not to show what I can do because, I mean, here's the thing. I was a big fan of the game. I watched the show with my preschoolers. I don't know if it's the type of show they should be watching, but I have it on sometimes during that time, and some of them are up and watching. So don't come at me, moms. It's not my fault. But I do have it on sometimes. Well, during that time on the projector, and some of them watch it, and they're like, "Hey, we like watching that show. You need to go on that show." So I said, "Okay, I'll go on." So I got them some of my cute outfits. They chose some of my outfits. They told me, you need to act like what's your face? You need to act like Case, cause she was also from New Orleans, and they're like, we want a girl to be like us. We want you to represent our people. So they obviously didn't say those exact words because they're preschoolers. They didn't say, "Oh, you need to go out there. You need to represent our people. Represent, you know." They didn't say that. They said, "You gotta be like Kate because she's also from New Orleans, and you gotta win. Come back and win." So I didn't do that. I came close though, I think. Um, yeah. Oh, well, that is a pretty good story. Um, so you get on, and you're the first group of people who get on. Yes, and I was. But actually, I was gonna be the second group of people who got on, but they put me onto the first group at the last minute. So yeah, because I was gonna be either the last person. Well, I was always gonna be in the second group, like one of the first people to walk in, and they said, "No, we're gonna put you in early. We think you'll act well with the girls." I don't know how that worked out because I really didn't get along with anybody much from the first group. But yeah, so yeah. So you come in, what is your perception? So I really didn't connect with anyone. I was looking for a connection to really, to bond with someone so that we could get together, you know? And I think I accomplished that later with Autumn and all that. Well, yes, whenever the second group of people come in, you establish the synergy lines. Yeah, so I actually, well, here's the thing. I did bond with a Steffi, but not right away, you see. So I really didn't talk to anybody. I was I'm going to be by myself. It's only 11 people. I can't really, it's not going to be that difficult to get far. But then the second group of people came in, and we actually had 17 people, and Harry quit, and I'm like, okay, it's getting real. So I'm like, okay, I need to actually work out things for some people. So I start talking. I mean to Steffi. I'm like, hey, we kind of have something in common. We can be good. We both kind of have knowledge of the game. And we can run this house. So I got a Steffi, I got Autumn, I got Tyler, Shelly, I guess we got Kamala, India, although that canceled out later. But so I think that it really worked out because I bond with people. I came in that house looking for a bond so I could get to know someone, and so it could make it easier to get by. Because when you have people, you get by. So I got them, and we were all doing dally. I won some challenges. People won challenges. We were making a lot of the big moves. We got Everest out. because I don't like floaters. I don't like people who just want to float through the game. I don't like them. So I got them out. We got what's her face? Jay. Well, no, Jay was because of the challenge. We got some people out, but then the others like Maple, what the Shablam, Sam, what's her face? Sandra Dawn. Those people started coming after us. So we're like, okay, we need to head after you. So we take Sandra Dawn out. We take, because they get Tyler out for no reason, which I think was Shelly. Was Shelly's doing because she was talking to her right before she left, and it was a little suspicious. So we kick it into full gear. So we, mainly me and Steffi, making those choices and doing it, you know? So, yeah. So, when your people, the first person of yours that leaves is Tyla, which you went over. How are you feeling about that? So, with Tyla, I really didn't want her to go. But I knew we were going to have to leave people at some point. I knew. But it was just kind of weird. Then Kamala in India start getting a little like more together than with the rest of the group. It's those two mix, and they're separated from us at this point. So I'm like, okay, if you want to be in an alliance by yourself, you're gonna be in an alliance by yourself. So we left them. We said, okay, you do you be with you, but don't hang with us when you're not in the group. So, we kick them out. We say they're too strong. We get Kamala out. Because before we got Shelly out, we got Maple out. Because we did a whole revulsion against Maple. But I think everyone in the house hated Maple at that point. So then we kicked Kamala out. Because she had won a few challenges. And she was closer with India, and she was like the bigger threat, as we thought. So, yeah, but it kind of kicked in to, well, no, we'll get to that later. And then, but that's kind of less one person with us, because from talking to her in the jury house, she said, oh, I was always with y'all. Like, I didn't mean, like, I was never going to go against y'all. So I guess that was kind of dumb on our part, but that's what we thought at that point. So we left her, and then we went to, and then the runway. The runway kicks in, and what's her face? And Autumn gets out, and India, she's all warning us the week before. She's like, oh, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna bite you. We're like, okay, she's a little foul. She's a little foul mouth. She thinks she can do what she wants when it's really false. So, but she wins the next challenge, which I'm like, okay. But my girl Autumn goes home. And that's our girl. That's our next person. So then it gets even worse. Because it's just me and Steffi left in the thing. And we have each other. We can do things. Seuss on her other side has some people. But India, she's like a power in this at this point. Sam, I don't know what she's doing, but clearly she was doing something for being in this game this long. And I don't know. Because I don't know what Sam is up to. Because us in the jury house, we were having a talk earlier. And we think we've all been played by Sam. I don't know what Sam is doing, but she's doing something good. So is India. She warned us. She said, I'm going to come back to you. And she did. So, yeah. And then next week rolls around. So, I start hearing things from people that is Steffi. Oh, she's making up lies about me. She's talking about me. She's saying, oh, I'm not a good player. I am trash. I am the rubbish. All of it. I will, like, I'm not good. She was saying I was playing against people. I was talking behind people's backs. Apparently, because people were telling me that. True, hindsight 2020, she wasn't saying any of that. But I, at this point, was too into the game. And this is where I make most of my regrets, because I came into this game specifically saying I wanted to not take it personal. I wanted to play it as a game for my preschoolers, for my kid, for all of that. And I think I lost that point towards the end of the game. Now, I come after a Steffi. She's confused, obviously, because she didn't do any of it. And I get put up. Well, I don't get put up. Because I'm the head of the household. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to put a Steffi up. A Steffi, Seuss, and who else did I put up? I think Anila. I put up those 3 people, and I said, you better get a Steffi out, because she's talking about us. Hindsight 2020, not so good. But, you know, I was feeling the moment, feeling the game. So, I tell everyone, get a Steffi out. And guess what happens? A Steffi leaves. And I didn't really think for a hot minute, because if I would have been so dumb. Because after a Steffi left, I'm alone. I have no one else, just me. Just me, alone. So, I really have no one to do. I have nothing, so no one to go to. I'm by myself. I'm target number 1 in this house, because I just kicked my best friend out. I just started a riot. I have kicked people out left and right since the beginning of this game. So now I have no protection, and I'm number 1 threat. So I'm like, okay, just count me out at this point, because I'm done. I am done. So I'm breaking down. I'm like, why did I waste my time in this game if it's gonna work out for nothing? Because that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, I did this whole thing for nothing. So I'm breaking down. But I still have that little light in myself that says, you can pull through. You can be that iconic winner that went from the bottom, started from the bottom, now we here, you know? So I was like, handstand, I can do it. You know, I'm with preschoolers all day. Some of them do gymnastics. We're outside a lot, flipping around. And I have done more than one handstand contest in my life. So I'm like, okay, I can do this. I get to the end. I lose my balance 1 second before freaking India gets it. Now, this girl is like, okay, you're target number 1. You're knocked down. So I'm going to knock you down even farther. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to knock you out. And I did leave. And I didn't even have a chance to do a speech or anything, y'all. Because y'all twist. Y'all just kicked me out. Yeah, that was an interesting twist. No, but y'all just kicked me out. Which I guess was fine. I was going to leave anyways. And, I mean, why not bring Rosalinda down with me? You know? So, yeah. But I was very defeated. At that point, I said, you know what? That handstand challenge was my last chance, and I blew it. I did not succeed. And it was my own downfall, honestly. It was my own downfall. I got too carried in the game, and I forgot the reason why I was there, and for my preschoolers. So I think it is right for me that I left. But yeah, now I'm in the jury house. Now I can talk it out with people. without people lying in my face. So I enjoy that far much more. Well, that is great. One last question. Do you think you would return to the game? Would I return? I would. Which sounds a little strange for somebody who literally was just eliminated. But I do think that it would be beneficial. It would be good for me to come back. Because I think I could redeem myself. And I just want another chance, y'all. I came so far to get into this game, and it was my own downfall. And I'm glad I got to play, but I want to play again. Yeah, I want to play next time. I want to be less in the drama, less in all of it, and more there for the experience and for my preschoolers. Because that's the reason I was there in the first place. But, yeah, that's really all I can say. I don't want to hold you up for too long. Nope, that's totally great. Well, thank you, SaraLe'anne, for being here. Anything left to say? Thank you all for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for my preschoolers at home. You all treated me great. I did not win, but I had a fun time. Well, that is great. Thank you, SaraLe'anne. Thank you all for watching this episode of the Exposed Interviews. Make sure to vote for a fan favorite in that description below. And thank you all for watching. Bye.